Hey everyone, it's Joey Ragona here, and I just wanted to do these progress calls for you and kind of let you know how it is for people just like you who are just getting started and or somewhere in the progress of building your business. And I see that a lot of testimonials out there that are based on the end result, and really there's nothing wrong with those type of testimonials, but I sometimes find that there's a disconnect to some people because they've achieved massive results. And if we're just in the early stages of building our business, I really wanted to introduce students and clients who are at different parts of their journey and building their businesses, just so you can see where they are, the struggles sometimes that they go through, how they've gotten over some of the obstacles, and just to help you motivate and inspire you for you in your own business. So today, I've got Julie Tyler on the call with me, and Julie is a writer and coach for novelists. And I'm not even going to pretend to know exactly what she does. She explains it way better than I do. So Julie, can you let us know what it is that you're doing?
Yeah, so I've been a novelist for several years now, and in just the process of struggling through a manuscript and approaching the publishing industry with my, hard work, I've learned several things about that process, and I've also noticed that there are a lot of writers out there with talent who could really use a guiding some guiding principles for success. So now I work with novelists who are publishing or who are writing in the upmarket fiction category. That's a very specific category in the publishing world. And they're looking to publish with a traditional publishing house. So this does not include self-publishing or anything direct to Amazon. This would be your standard houses like Penguin, Simon and Schuster, Random House, places like that.
Very cool, very cool. And so you are now a member of Strategic Profit Lab Insiders Circle,
Yes.
right? And
Mhm.
so I really wanted to focus on how it's been going for you. And you've been only in there for, how long have you been a member now? It's only been a few
I
months.
want to I want to say like 3 or 4 months, somewhere
Okay.
around in there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so what was your situation before joining? What was life like? What was the business like?
Okay, so I would say it was November and December that I was really about to pull my hair out. I was attempting with a business partner. She and I were trying to launch an online course, and it was a complete disaster. We really weren't clear at all on our curriculum, our message, our target audience, anything. So we put this thing out there, and it just got no signups. So I really felt very frustrated because I have a lot to offer and a lot of passion for what I do, and I just couldn't put all of my efforts um, toward a path to success. So that's what life was like. Really frustrated, very overwhelmed, and confused.
Yeah,
Disappointed as well. A lot of disappointment.
right. And you were disappointed because of what, you were in other programs before, or you just like too much information? What was that like?
I had never really, I'd only done a business development learning program once before, and this was several years ago, and it was through a local college. It was the college I was teaching for at the time. And it was sort of a group session, and I didn't feel like I got enough attention to what I was trying to do. Plus, that was a completely different business
Right.
model I was working on. But I really needed more training as far as marketing is concerned, about using Facebook as an engine to do that. So yeah, I really had no business training.
Okay, cool. And so when you joined, what started to happen then? What did the process look like when you joined the Strategic Profit Lab?
Well, I really sat down after joining some of the live calls and looking at some of the information that you put in the members area and put on Facebook. I really sat down and started thinking about what is a market? What is a market niche? How do I find these people? And when I do find these people, what is it that I'm looking for? I can participate in writers groups on Facebook all day long, but when I see people posting, like what is the information that I'm going after? So I really got into that process and what you were coaching us to look for, and I started getting a better idea of how to use the language, how to notice commonalities and patterns, and to bring that language into any offer that I was putting out.
Very cool. And so, and so how does that process helped you over the last, few months, or since the beginning of you actually joining us?
I would say when I sit down to craft a post, whether it be on Facebook or a blog post or an email that I'm going to be sending out to my list, I have a much better idea of how to identify with the market's problems, because I've certainly been there myself, and I know everybody says like, do you experience this? Well, I've been there too, but it's true. I have felt all those writer frustrations separate from all the business frustrations, and I feel like I'm able to identify in a very sincere way, a very clear way, in a way that is easy for the market itself to participate in. I'm not using language that eludes them or confuses them further.
Right. And that's a big thing, right? I mean, a lot of the students and even some of the people that are in with us, the messaging is one of the biggest problems that we have, right? Including myself. We all go through this. And so, can you walk us through a little bit of like what you actually did to help with that messaging?
Yeah, so particularly with the market research, I started by finding out, where does my market hang out? Where do they complain about their problems? And so this will include, a lot of Facebook groups. There are a lot of Facebook groups devoted to writers. And, you'll have people who are really forthcoming about what's bugging them. I'm not a very forthcoming person. I don't like to complain, in a public format, but, a lot of writers are doing that. And so it's very easy to sort of take in their feelings and frustrations. So I, joined a bunch of groups. I've also been looking in other platforms, and I created myself a chart, like, where does the market say something? Where do they talk about their problems? What are those problems? Can I break those into categories? So I
Excellent.
have a little chart that shows all of that. And then what words and phrases and sentences are they putting together to express that? And then what are the common expressions?
That's amazing. I mean, we always talk about it on our calls and even in the chats that we have, that realistically it all comes down to the message is in the market. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's all out there for you. And I just wanted to give some people that are watching this some ideas of what we talk about and really how kind of easy it is. I mean, there's no magic, but I don't want to say that. I mean, there is parts of the journey that have been a little bit struggling, right? It's not been totally easy, but it's just getting the, here's the obstacle. What's the easiest solution for me to find this? And I just want to, honor you through your struggle and through all the obstacles that you've had up to now. And it sounds to me like you've progressed quite a bit, since you've been with us, right?
Yeah. And I also wanted to add that you had encouraged me several weeks ago, and you've encouraged all of us, but to conduct some interviews and really spend time with an individual prospect or an individual writer, someone that we can help, and really get into what they're trying to do, what's been standing in their way. Of course, offer them some strategies to continue moving forward, bring some clarity to their confusion, but to use that opportunity to dig even deeper than is possible just by observing through Facebook groups.
Amazing. I love it. I love to hear that. And so what else have you been able to change by going through the training maybe as a member of Strategic Profit Lab? Anything else you've been able to do?
Yeah, so I would say just recently, over this weekend, I sat down in front of the Facebook ad account manager, whatever you call it, this monster. It looks like a monster when you go in there. There's so many
It does,
tabs.
doesn't it?
You click on the tab and there's all these choices, but I sat there for hours, and I took to heart several of the things that I learned from your videos, and just listening to in the live calls when other people were already in that phase. I was really like, okay,
Very
yeah,
good.
yeah, and really observing other people going through that. And I'm sure I could do a better job this next round. But what I really took from that was that I created the audience segments, and I sent money to each of them individually. And I'm going to let Facebook do its magic and start collecting information. I've also been able to create custom audiences based on activity on the
Awesome.
Facebook page. So yeah, I didn't know how to do that.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
so you hit a big point there about the live calls, because I want to touch on that a little bit, because some people may not know what those live calls are about. And even if you're not, you're not on the hot seat, or you're not being coached at that point, can you speak to that just for a second? Because I think it means a lot that you're learning from other people. Can you speak to that for a second?
Yeah, I think the live calls have been tremendous for me. Because it just really feels like a community in there, and I've really appreciated your dedication to when each person submits their materials to you, you go through it with a fine tooth comb or whatever. I don't know that metaphor.
Yeah.
and and whenever I'm in the hot seat, like I really feel good that you've taken a look at my materials, and you've brought all of your energy to helping me work through it. And then when I listen to other people, and for sure the ones that I've observed up to this point, they've been at a much later stage than me. They're already getting clients. They're already, they've built these big old lists, and seeing them still have questions and seeing them still want to improve, and then they're coming to you, and they're able to fix it right then and there. Whatever the issue is, they're able to make a tweak or to make an adjustment, and then they go about their business, and something magical happens
That's so cool.
very soon. So I like it.
That's so cool. Thanks a lot. I mean, that means a lot to me, because it allows you, if you came into the call and you kind of felt overwhelmed by seeing other people with, thousands of people listening, you have, 100 people, and you might feel for a second that, oh my God, I'm so small, or I'm not doing enough. Does it help bring you closer to, again, you use the word community, which I love. I'm trying to build that community. Does it bring you closer by knowing that, okay, well, Joey's got 10,000, I've got 100 people, but he's still got the same problem as me, type of thing. He's just maybe one step further.
Yeah.
Does it help bring that closer to you, that you're not that far away? It's just like a number of people, right?
Yeah, it does. And, we all have different customers and different solutions that we're offering. But, I would say the issues that we're all experiencing are pretty similar. And, I mean, there is that moment of intimidation, like, how could, I don't deserve to be in this group with all these superstars. But, I'm pretty adept at getting over that. And I think the group, you and everybody else that comes to the live calls, I think they're just so encouraging that it really allays that sense of intimidation and fear. And I think we all walk away feeling like superstars.
That's awesome. You are a superstar. You are, believe me, and you're only going to get bigger and bigger, which is, I can't wait to have another one of these calls, and we'll look back at this one going, remember when it used to be like this, right? So we could
Right.
help
Yeah.
people along the way. So I don't want to keep you forever, but I just want to ask you like one or two more questions. And going through the program and training this far, like what was the biggest thing that made the most impact for you?
I would say where I've experienced some concrete results would be the segments about the email marketing, sending out the messages via email. And that was really powerful, because for a while, my partner at From Nothing to Novel and I were not using that list. We were trying to just regroup, and so that list was collecting dust. And when you think about it, when somebody subscribes, they've really given you a tremendous opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we both felt timid about sending more emails because our earlier ones just weren't working. But then when you had that tutorial about the components of a successful email campaign, that really made it very concrete and very step oriented. Number one, do this. Number two, do this. And we did get some concrete results from a recent campaign.
Amazing. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So last question would be, what would be your number one piece of advice for other members, anybody considering joining the Strategic Profit Lab Inner Circle? What would that be for them?
I would say definitely dive right in. It's a great experience, and the community and Joey's ongoing support. He's always attacking the questions that people put forth in the Facebook group, and his energy during the live calls. It's something that you can't miss. You have to seize this opportunity, and you will see results. Participate as much as possible. There are so many daily ways to be a part of your own growth and other people's growth. So jump in.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. So that's amazing. Listen, you've come so far. I'm so honored and proud that you're a part of this community, and I just really want to thank you for taking the time to at least give your honest and vulnerable opinions about everything. I know that you're still growing, and that's really what I want to put out to the world, is that we're all in the growth stages, and I don't want to just put people on that you've the biggest stars of everything, right? And we're all superstars going towards that bigger thing. But I really appreciate you taking the time out and sharing, the obstacles that you've come up with, and some of the wins and some of the losses, which is awesome, and just being honest. And really, thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome, Joy. Thanks for the opportunity to put words to what's been going on. So
Cool. I will get you again. We're gonna, a couple more months now, and we'll get you back here. So take care of yourself, and I'll see you inside the group.
All right, bye.
Bye.